We are here once again with the deck list. But this time we got this list from the MTG Goldfish. User submitted list for the Murders at Karlov Manor standard deck tech. We call this, as the Anonymous said, Gruul Disguise deck, or the red-green aggro disguise. So we know that disguise is one of the new mechanics introduced in the Murders to the Markov Manor, and we see now that we can basically have a build around deck from that mechanic. So we're going to check the list. This is a rough, let's say a beta deck list of this deck archetype. We have 2 artifacts, 37 creatures, oh that's 27, sorry, 23 lands, a single planeswalker with Luca, and 7 sorceries for completing the main deck of 60 cards. Now what would be the deck theme, what we can say, is that you can just play all the currently disguised creatures, or the creatures with disguise out of the red and green color from this set, and go from its value as you pay for its disguise cost. So first off, we check on the 1-drops. We can see that this would be probably the one of the main engine of the deck, because whenever it has this ability with the Goblin Mask Maker, so this is a 1 to cast a 1/2 Goblin Citizen that whenever it attacks, face down spells you cast this turn's cost 1 less to cast. Much more if you have multiple copies of this in the deck, that attacking with it would let you have your face down spells cost cheaper, or maybe even free for that certain setup. Now with this 4 copies, we also have this card, which is one of the disguise. It is also a 2-drop for its own. It is Flourishing Bloom Clean, 2 to cast 0/0, which is the power and toughness would get for the value of the number of forests you control. So this is also that with a 5 mana cost of disguise. When it's turn face up, search the library for up to 2 forest cards, reveal them and put them in your hand. One is added to your hand and the other to the battlefield tap, then shuffle. So it's may be like that of a cultivate ability, and then the disguise cost would really have you to make it bigger with the number of forests you've searched to your library. Now with that 4 copies of the deck, we also have 2 copies of the Fugitive Codebreaker. Now we can really consider these cards as each of these disguised creatures as 3 mana cost in general, because you can basically pay for its 3 mana cost to have this face down by playing it face down, and then the disguise cost would only matter maybe in the mid game as for this kind of setup, because the disguise is basically 6 in mana cost, but it's reduced for its instant and sorcery card in graveyard. But the only purpose here is that if you can be able to have to make this face up, you will have to get this value out of this ability, that you can discard your hand and then draw 3 cards. So in any certain situations that would basically run out of gas, you can use the Codebreaker's disguise ability to refill your hand with these 3 cards drawn from the top card of your library. And then again, we also have another option here with the Nervous Gardener. So this is a 2 to cast 2/2, but the benefit of having to disguise it and then paying for the disguise cost as it turn face up, you can search the library for a land card with a basic land type, reveal it and put it in your hand. So another ramp or mana search ability to get you to benefit and to make sure that you won't really miss your land drops for the succeeding turns. And that added also is Pyrotechnic Performer. So this card is just basically a 2 to cast 3/2 Vecino. You can consider this a 2-drop for any instance, but whenever you have this one disguised and it's another performer or the other creature you control turn face up, that creature deals damage equal to its power to its opponent. So that is also a bonus ability wherein you can deal indirect damage to your opponent, and also having the benefit of any creature you face down activated or turn face up for that any scenario. And probably the core creature that you can have to this ability of the face down creatures is that you can have these 3 copies of Yarus Roar of the Old Gods. So this is just a 4 to cast 4/4. Legendary creature, Centaur Druid. Other creatures you control have haste, and whenever one or more face down creatures you control deals combat damage to a player, you will basically draw a card. So if a face down creature you control dies, return it to battlefield face down under its owner's control. Then if it's a permanent card, then turn it face up. So that gets you also free face up trigger or free face up activation. And in any instance that your previous cards here with this ability that is turned face up, it would also trigger that of the Yaros ability of this third line of its ability. So make sure that you can also have Yaros in play as you carve out to your draws, and have this benefit up to your other face down creatures after Yaros has resolved in your board. And up more of these guy's creatures, we have also Vengeful Creeper. It is turn face up, destroy an artifact or enchantment opponent controls, and basically can act as a 5 to cast for 5/5. And then we also have 4 copies of the Borak Clan Basher. So this is a double strike trampler ability, but you can also have this one disguised with the ability of having this 2/2 face down creature and then activate the disguise ability for 5. But in a certain scenarios, you just need to have this card Yaros into play as to be able to benefit on such instance. Now we go to the artifact. That artifact concealed weapon can basically have you to add as a disguise copy, because it's also an equip ability that gets the equipped creature +3/+0, and you can disguise it for 3 mana. That, and when we're able to turn this face up, attach it to target creature you control. So any also free face up ability would also have you to attach it for free to any of your relevant threats that you would want to have its power added. Now for the 7 sorceries here, I think the most relevant here that goes with the main ability of the disguise deck is the 4 copies of the rare Hide in Plain Sight. So this is a 4 mana sorcery that looks up for 5 cards of library, cloak 2 of them, and then put the rest on the bottom of library in normal order. So basically you can have like a sorcery speed collective company, but you just have those chosen 2 out of the 5 cards to be that of the disguised creatures by cloaking them or putting them in the battlefield face down. So with that card, you also have Nahiri's Warcrafting. This is just a somewhat a filler for the slot of having a spot removal in the main deck. So with these 3 copies in the deck, can have also an answer to any creature with toughness 5 or less. And the bonus here is that if you would have your excess damage dealt, you get to look at the top X cards of library and then use the X value equal to the excess damage, and then you can exile one of those cards and play or cast that exiled card this turn. So with the lone Planeswalker in the deck, you can see here that is Luca Bound to Ruin. This is just a 5 mana cost Planeswalker, but you can pay 2 life for the protection mana to have it 4 mana cost or 1 turn earlier per certain scenarios. And with its ability that can also have you to create a 3/3 green protection beast creature token with Toxic, or you can just +1 to add red and green mana, and then spend this mana only to cast creature spells or activate abilities of creatures. So these guys are also considered to be activated ability, so you can use Luca Bound to Ruins +1 mana added for that activation. In at any instance, you can also -4 Luca to deal X damage divided as you choose among any number of target creatures and planeswalkers, where X the greatest power among creatures you control as you activate this ability. And now for the lands setup, we can see that this is just again a typical dual color deck. So we have mostly some of the mana fix here with the Carpusan Forest, some Copperline Gorge, but it has also preferred to add more of the basic lands with 7 Forest and 7 Mountain, and of course the channel lands Sukan Sun and Bosiju for the respective red and green colors. And it is also considered 2 copies of the Commercial District as the new card from the Murders at Karlov Manor for the ability that can also able to mana fix for a forest or a mountain, and also be able to surveil one for your top card manipulation. And last but not the least, for the mana curve, we have average mana of 3.03. Color distribution is more on red with 31 for red and 19 for green. The green producers are evenly with 16 each of its color. And we only have 2 tokens in the deck: Praxian Beast token produced by Luca and the Spirit token by the Soken-san, Crucible of Defiance. So that's basically it for this Gruul Disguise deck tech for the standard format in MKM standard. Let me know in the comments below if you have any or similar idea or has tried also a list that somewhat replicated or just a carbon copy of this main strategy, the Disguise ability that was introduced in the Murders at Karlov Manor set. Again guys, thank you for watching this another standard deck tech video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and see you on the next one.